Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Platinum Achievements. As always, I'm Ray, and wouldn't you know it, we missed a week. I had a semi-legitimate reason for that. Sammy decided that he was going to have an ear infection, and then immediately roll that over into some sweet, sweet pneumonia. So that was a joy to be a parent of. I know there's going to be much worse down the road, probably, but it was a tough week, 2 weeks, and honestly, the focus had to be on that. We were not getting a lot of sleep, so we had to make sure Sammy was okay. We had to make sure we were okay. And, we had to take a week off, and that's all right. We had a reason. It totally wasn't because I procrastinated at all. So, there's that. All right. So, let us begin, as we always do, with an update on the gamer score and trophy count. Gamer score currently is at 690,115. Quite a sizable gain. It's the beginning of the month, currently April 6th as I record this, and I'm already up 10,130 gamer score. And you may be wondering how? And that is because I've been playing some games that have a couple thousand gamer score. So let's begin. I don't know if we talked about this already. I think we might have. Rayland 2 on the Xbox. I played, completed that. It was up to 3,000 gamer score. Then I dabbled a little in Quantum Conundrum. I don't think I got any gamer score there, but I made some. I guess I restarted the game just to get a fresh understanding of it. That's made by the guys that did Portal, or some of the guys that did Portal. Pretty fun game. If you like Portal, you'll probably like this one. So definitely give that a shot. It's a 360 backwards compatible game. Then I was throwing it down on some Goldeneye 007, which is the footage you're seeing on screen. I love Goldeneye 007, and honestly, this remaster, it controls real well from the start. I didn't have to adjust my controls at all. It controls real well and feels like it's really honestly playable in this day and age, because if you've gone back and played the original 360 version, it's pretty tough if you're used to today's shooters. But they did a great job with that. I think they did a real good job bringing us that gem into the current age. Next, which I know, well, actually, this was the first game of the month, and this was Rayland 2 on the PC, baby. That's right, it's a double. If you buy it once, you get it twice. Stackable type of deal. Another 3Gs in the bag. Then the other night, I started playing, or I completed Open Roads. I think I did it in one night. It's a pretty good narrative, story-driven walking sim. Think along the lines of like a Gone Home, What Remains of Edith Finch, except there's the 3D environments, but then your dialogue back and forth with you're playing the daughter and you're talking with your mother. It's like a hand-drawn animation, looks really good. Carrie Russell, I believe, actually does the voice of the mom. So that was pretty cool. And next I started the Little Gator game with Sammy. He actually really likes it. It's a pretty chill game. I haven't researched it, but my understanding is it's made by the guys that did A Short Hike, or the guys and girls that did A Short Hike. Don't want to assume anything, but the Gator is actually a character and a model from A Short Hike. Pretty fun. Sammy enjoys watching it. Sammy's gotten in the rhythm of whenever he gets a chance, usually it's in the morning, even when I have to go to work, he comes up, he sits on the beanbag in front of the TV, and he waits for me to turn on a game system for us to play a game for a little bit. It's so adorable, except he gets a little cranky when we don't come up here, and he just starts slamming gates and stuff, so he's got an attitude and maybe a little addiction. Who knows? We're going to monitor that. And then the games that really set me over the limit, 3,000 apiece, they're both free, would be DPS Idol and DPS Idol for Windows 10. Now, these games are, I guess they're games. It's basically like you're attacking monsters using cards that you unveil on your deck by using coins to purchase extra, let's call them booster packs, but they're chests. And basically the damage will stack up, different damage will apply, you'll get different money, or you'll get more money as different cards are unveiled, and you basically like, what's the best way to describe this? You complete your deck, like you get all the cards that are on the screen. It's like 20 cards maybe, and then you can join a guild. And then when you leave the guild, you basically prestige. So you get some sort of bonus, and then it carries over. Your cards get reset. Some of your progress does, but some of your progress doesn't. And basically, the game plays itself, but you have to set the cards up to play themselves. And there's other currencies. There's a lot. There's some strategy to it, but not really. The game plays itself. It's running in the background, so you can do other things, pop back in, see how much money you've made. And yeah, it's fun-ish. I mean, it's fun. I enjoyed it. I was able to play it while Sammy watched a movie during dinner one night for the PC version. That was pretty fun. I enjoy multitasking. And when I started playing it a couple days ago, it had 2,000 gamer score apiece. Then yesterday or today, they added 1,000 gamer score apiece. So I mopped that up real quick. Sorry, I had to cut out there for a sec. I'm checking on Sammy. He's going to sleep right now. So yet again, we're playing the game of Don't Wake Sammy, America's favorite pastime. It's not baseball. It's Don't Wake Sammy. And he's doing pretty good in his crib. He's just laying down, kind of scrunched up, playing with his Mickey Mouse and whatnot. What else he got? He's got a Lightning McQueen, too. He's got a lot of Lightning McQueens in various forms, but he's got some stuff in there. But yeah, DPS Idol, fun game, free gamer score, a lot of gamer score. Definitely recommend picking it up. A little tip with it though, especially on the PC version, I noticed an issue on my laptop. I don't know if it's going to translate to other people's gaming PCs, but if the game doesn't want to open and it gives you a little like warning icon saying that like there's no, I want to say there's like no executable app or something like that, just restart your computer and you should be good to go. I had to do that a couple times when I would come back to the game. So definitely make sure you're doing that. Now over to the PlayStation side, we still have 103 platinums. We have 687 golds, 910 silvers, and 2158 bronzes. I believe since the last time that I recorded, I think I did Hello Neighbors, Hello Neighbor 2, both times. They gave it away with PS Plus last month. I think I discussed those. But in case I haven't, it's been a while. The puzzles are very obtuse in that game. I used a guide. I completed it in like an hour. Use a guide for this because some of the puzzles make no sense. Some of them do make sense, but it's a convoluted kind of game. I don't understand how people are really able to figure out those kinds of games on their own, but I imagine some people do it. I think we made a little progress in Bully, not a lot. The main game I've been playing is Slime Rancher with Sammy, and then we transitioned to a Little Gator game. Little Gator game rolls off the tongue. Very nice. We did a little more Alan Wake. I'll go over that in a second. I've been playing a game called Plane Effect on the PS5. I have the PS4 version as well because it was like a cross-buy or whatever. Plane Effect. It's a puzzle game where you're leaving your job at the end of the day. Guy in a suitcase, trench coat, glasses. The puzzles there also could be a little confusing, but what I like, and I really enjoy that this is a feature, is there's like 3 quote-unquote difficulties. And I'm using the one where it's like the easiest difficulty, I guess. And you can hold left trigger, and it will show you exactly where you need to go if you're stumped on a puzzle. I think that's really cool. I really like that. The only negative that I really have for the game is there's a couple trophies that you only get one shot at. It's not a long game either, but there's 2 trophies you only get one shot at. There's no level select either, so if you miss them, you're gonna have to restart your game. One is, I believe, fairly early on. The other one is much later on. So make some backup saves if you can. Do a little save scumming. Save yourself some trouble. And follow a guide just so you don't miss any missables. Because there's a lot of missables in the game. But no chapter select. And then 2 that require you to be... Or there's a few that require you to do a few things first try. No failing, no restarting. So definitely keep an eye out for that. Now, before we get into the actual stories, as I mentioned, let's talk about Alan Wake Remastered on the PS4. I'm currently trying to work through the Signal DLC. Let me tell you what, it crashes all the time. It is insane how much this game crashes. Only on this DLC. And after some painstaking research and some trial and error, I believe I have the correct formula. So I will inform you of that now. Maybe I'll put a picture up, maybe I won't. But you want to go to your settings, and you want to go, or I guess it's the options. You want to go to options, you want to go to graphics, and you want to disable your motion blur and your film grain, and you want to switch the graphics mode to performance. Now, I did not have my settings set to this. I stumbled upon the solution, and I'm so glad I did. I'm going to figure out who actually gave the solution, because it, from what I can tell, and I hope I'm not jinxing myself, but from everything I've seen, it doesn't look like I am. This works. And I haven't crashed since implementing it. I've died a few times in dumb ways. Some of them are because I was rushing, mainly to beat the clock of Sammy waking up from a nap. But I'm trying to complete it tonight and just have this game done. I've already got the platinum, but I just want the game done because as of right now, I don't have my PS Plus renewing, so I don't want to have one trophy left and then feel that urge to either re-up just for this game, even though there's a few others, or to go out and buy the game. So definitely switch your settings to that if you're going for the Signal DLC. Important to note also, there was another solution where it said to go and do the second DLC first and then come back to this. I did do that. I didn't have any crashes on the second DLC, which is the writer, but coming back, I was still experiencing some crashing. So I don't know if completing that first also helps with this, and then also switching the settings. I would recommend doing that in the event that I actually complete this, So if I do, I will probably let you know here, Ray from the future, re-recording and inputting some dialogue. So if you don't hear a switch, maybe it didn't work. Or maybe it did work. And you'll let you know now. My strategy worked. I completed Alan Wake PS4 Remastered. Alright, now that we're back from either future me or not future me, and we're just continuing from where we were, let me go over a couple news stories, and then I'm going to discuss the topic of the show. So let me pull up. Oh, before we even do the news stories, I have a goal this month for April, or a couple goals. 10K minimum gain in gamerscore. Check. Already did it. I had a bunch of games saved in case I didn't stumble upon these games that gave me so much gamerscore. But check. Completed that. I need to complete Alan Wake PS4. Working on it, and or check. Future rate insert check if I accomplish this. If not, then just cut this part out. And then because I was feeling real saucy, I decided to add get an Onyx Medal in Gears 3. Any Onyx Medal. I'm shooting to complete that game at some point, and I figured the best way to do it is to try to do one Onyx Medal a month. Seems kind of doable. But we'll start working on that at a later date. Now, let us transition to some news stories that I wanted to go over. Just an update. One of the previous episodes, I was talking about Red vs. Blue and Rooster Teeth and how much I love it. An update in the Variety article from Todd Spangler. Again, all this stuff, all these articles will be linked down below in the description. Where did it go? Todd Spangler, Variety from March 28th, so about like a week ago. Red vs. Blue final season to be released as feature-length movie after Rooster Teeth shutdown by Warner Brothers. So they're going to be releasing it. Where are they releasing it? Red vs. Blue Restoration, 19th final season. We'll be releasing as a 87-minute feature-length film. I like that it's 87 minutes. Some of the other seasons went up to like 3 hours. We'll be releasing by Warner Brothers Discovery Home Entertainment. The movie will be available May 7th to purchase for $15 on Amazon, Prime Video, Apple TV, Google Play, Vudu, other electronic sell-through outlets, and then on May 21st, it'll be able to be rented. The only thing that sucks right now about this, because I'm glad they're doing it, I'm glad they're releasing it, I'll gladly pay for it. Yeah, I'll pay the $15 too. I got no problem doing that. I'm really hoping, and I know it's a bit of a stretch, really hoping that, and the article, I'm not, I feel like I'm dragging out my comments. I'm really hoping they release a physical version, like a Blu-ray. I'll take a DVD. I'll sacrifice. The article from Variety doesn't mention anything about physical media. I'm really hoping they do it. I saw some people saying that they wanted them to release the whole series as a Blu-ray. That's not going to happen. I could see them doing this last season, mainly because a season is easier to produce than a whole series, and it's going to cost less and be less time and monetary investment on Warner Brothers' side, which is really what this all came down to. And yeah, I'm just really hoping they do a Blu-ray season, or a Blu-ray for the season. The other silver lining potentially is if there is someone that does pick up the Red versus Blue IP rights, maybe they could be convinced to do a physical media release of the 19th season if WB doesn't want to. So here's hoping for a physical release. Let's go over the other quick hit from Polygon, also March 28th, from Ollie Welsh and Nicole Carpenter. Embracer has sold Gearbox and Borderlands, the IP, thank God, to Take-Two for $460 million, which, well, it is a whole studio, yeah, and it is the IP rights to a big franchise. That's awesome that Embracer sold that. Embracer sucks as a company. They've done a lot of bad and not a lot of good, and I'm glad they're selling these off to, 2K sucks as a company too, but at least their company, is invested in gaming. So, and I think Take-Two published the Borderlands games, if I remember correctly. I'd have to, does it say in here, in the article? Deal makes a lot of sense. Take-Two has been the publisher for the Borderlands through its 2K label since long before Embracer acquired them. And that there's a new Borderlands game in active development. That's awesome. I didn't care much for 3, but 2 will always hold a special place in my heart. I love Tales from the Borderlands 2. I know that wasn't Take-Two or, Embracer or anyone. That was Telltale. But Gearbox Publishing. I'm just trying to skim the article now. Gearbox Publishing San Francisco, which will be renamed, includes the publishing rights to the Remnant games. Wait, to the Remnant games? Is this a Gearbox published? Oh no, hold on. Embracer's hanging on to a few parts of Gearbox Empire. Gearbox Publishing San Francisco will be renamed. And they will be holding on to the rights for Remnant games, which I believe are the Remnant from the Ashes games, and I think Chronos is one of them. I have Chronos on the PlayStation. I have to play that. It's a different kind of Remnant game. Hyperlight Breaker, Cryptid Studios. Okay, so they're holding on to some things, but they're selling off Gearbox as the studio and Borderlands and maybe a few other things. So that's good. Lesser of two evils. At least Take-Two seems to want to make games that are good. So yeah, just a cool update there. Next, a more recent article, and it's an exclusive from Windows Central. Xbox President Sarah Bond has set up a new team dedicated to game preservation and forward compatibility. I read the headline and I knew I wanted to include it because those are both great things. Game preservation is super important, and forward compatibility very important to keep our libraries going. The backward compatibility program will continue to feature Xbox hardware. That's great. Per emails when confirmed, Xbox or Microsoft as genuine Xbox. Confirmed as genuine. The emails received by Windows Central were legit. Let's keep going. Yeah, so they have a team dedicating themselves to game preservation, backwards compatibility, future compatibility. That is all good news. Let's see, Windows Central. Who wrote this? Jez Corden. Oh, he works for Windows Central. He's been a big leaker. I don't know too much about the leaking space, but this is all good news. This is all good news. yeah, game preservation and forward, backwards compatibility, all that stuff, super important to keep your libraries with you. I'm glad Xbox is, and and PlayStation too. PlayStation, to their credit, I think the only backwards compatible or games that weren't backwards compatible, there were like 5 maybe from, I think, the PS4 to PS5. Unfortunately, one of them was Hitman Go, which was a very fun little puzzle game. Different take on the Hitman franchise. I have the platinum for it, no big deal. But yeah, this topic is very important these days. Very important. And I'm glad Microsoft, and like I said, Sony as well, they're doing their best to keep these things in mind. So, awesome. And the last topic that I want to cover, coming to us from True Achievements, written by Jack Watling. Watling? Sorry if I mispronounced your name, Jack. You're definitely not hearing this. The Xbox Spring Sale is going on. 2024 is now live with over 900 discounts. These include things such as Resident Evil 4, Skull and Bones, Cyberpunk 2077, Skull and Bones, okay, and Cyberpunk 2077. There are so many deals in here, and there are some really good ones. If I wasn't a gamer daddy on a budget, I'd be diving into so many of these. I think I have like 5 games picked out now that I'm gonna pick up. I'm gonna do a relook through. I'm gonna see if this gives an expiration date on the deal. Some deals up to, some games bundled and DLC up to a whopping 90% off. I saw a couple of them. Usually when it's 90% off, the games are pretty me-crop. But I saw some of them that were pretty highly discounted, and there's great games in this list. Okay, so it's gonna run like a week and a half. Ends April 18th, so definitely get on top of that. 80% on some big games, up to 80%. That's the key, up to 80%. Baldur's Gate 3's on there. EA Sports FC 24 Standard Edition, NBA 2K24. Some of the ones they call out on the Microsoft page for Xbox Wire. There's movies too. There's movies and TV shows. Take a look at those. I always recommend physical for movies and TV. Games, I'm kind of I'm back and forth on. But you know what actually really hurts me? Suicide Squad Killer Justice League is like half off. I really haven't touched that game a lot. I'm kind of bummed I didn't just wait for this sale. I would have saved so much money. And by so much, I mean like 30 some bucks. So, yeah, definitely take a look at that sale. I will link the True Achievements page with the article. That way you can, have a direct line to see some of the gamers, like how tricky some of these games are. But yeah, good luck. Hope everyone finds some cool games. And that's the news roundup, baby. Now, on to the main topic of the show. With Sammy, this goober, he's almost asleep. With Sammy being sick, with the normal rigmarole of life and being married, having to do husband stuff, there's so little time for gaming, And you don't want to be super stressed out sometimes in a game. Sometimes you want to play a stressful game, like a horror game, or a Soulsborne, things like that. But sometimes you just want to chill. You just want to chill out and play an easy peasy squeezy game, you know what I'm saying? So I thought, why don't I go over 10 games that I find to be super relaxing trophy and achievement hunts and give them to you guys in case you need a little chill downtime, you know what I'm saying? But you still want to get on that grind of achievements and trophies. Hope you know what I'm saying. So, let me give you 10 of my games. And you'll notice some of them are in the same genre. Are they? Nah, I did try to diversify a little bit. So let's go with number 1. And these are in no particular order. These are just how they came to my mind. Number 1, Paparazzi. Let me explain what you do in this game by comparing it to 2 other games. 2 other games? Hold on, let me check on Junior. He's laying down. He's a fighter. He fights his bedtime sometimes. We didn't get a lot of time to play with him tonight because we ran a little late in the day. We did take him for a walk though. That was fun. He enjoys walking. He enjoys running around stores too. Where was I? Paparazzi. Think Pokemon Snap on an island with dogs. And dogs in different environments. Like there's a little a pier area. I think that is there only the pier? No, there's like 3 or 4 locations from what I remember. I haven't played this game in forever. I just remember it was pretty chill. You just go around and you find dogs and you take pictures. And honestly, that's about it. Some of the dogs you got to get in certain situations, like a dog on a half pipe, or a dog eating certain food, or dogs in an arcade. You just go around, you take pictures of dogs. That's basically it. Super chill. Highly recommend if you're trying to relax and you like dogs and you like taking pictures. Next up, no surprise. I've said it so many times on here. Slime Rancher, baby. Go play some Slime Rancher. It's super relaxing. The achievements, there's an RNG one where you gotta get like 3 gold, they call them plorts, which is the poop that you sell to, get money. There's one to get like 3 gold slimes in one instance. I forget if it's from a slime or what. I got it randomly from the first box I threw against the wall, so super cool. There's a little bit of a grind to it towards the end game with your certain tools, and there's a luck-based element to one of them where you have to activate and complete a trade mission, we'll call it, or trade request within a certain time frame. Those are probably your hardest ones. Other than that, very relaxing, very fun game. Highly recommend, as I always do. Next up, we got a short game. It's called Venba. I believe it was nominated for like Indie Game of the Year last year at the Game Awards. It was on Game Pass when it launched. And it's basically just a narrative story about a boy and his family from somewhere in India. I don't want to like get it wrong, but it's an Indian family or an Indian immigrant story where the family comes from India to Canada, I believe, and the story unfolds, and there's a lot of hardships with the parents adjusting to the new life, and a lot of struggles from a parental side. And the gameplay is you as Venba, who I believe is the mother, trying to either prepare or teach your son different Indian food recipes, and it's like a puzzle game really, and it's a lot of fun. I highly recommend it. It's a really good story. The puzzles are good. The food looks delicious, even though I'm a very picky eater, but the food looks good. So I recommend that one as well. Next up, we got Frog Detective. I think it's called like Frog Detective, The Complete Mystery or something like that. It's a very simple, fairly short detective game where the humor is what got me most. I mean, the graphics aren't super crazy by any means. Very polygonal, very simple, but the story's funny. The humor's pretty good. I love the interaction between the characters. Like, for instance, you play as the Frog Detective, and everyone's really looking forward to this. I forget what he was. Is he a horse or a falcon? The other detective is kind of like your not even dirtbag. He's just like your egotistical guy. He gets all the praise, and everyone attributes all your activities to him. Very fun detective game. Very simple, pretty straightforward, and fairly relaxing. I enjoyed it. I think I completed it during one of Sammy's naps. Amanda went to the gym, and it turns out they're closed. Next game I'm going to bring up is a little gem called Toem. I love this game so much. I think they gave it away on PS Plus a while ago. And then I loved it so much, I bought it on Xbox. It's so good. It's just you going on a photography adventure, essentially. Completing some quests. I believe the style is isometric. It's black and white. And your grandma basically sets you off to go take a picture, I believe, of the Toem. And it's this like rainbow gem in the sky. It's really cool. Now that I'm back from being really interrupted by a phone call. Yeah, Toem. You go around an island, you take pictures. Adorable game. I absolutely love this game so much. The next game I'm going to bring up, number 6, is Maquette. This was also given away on PS Plus. I keep saying PS Plus. That's not how you say it, Raymond. It's PS Plus. It was given away, I want to say, like the beginning of the PS5 era. I think it was one of the first PS5 games they gave away. Very fun first-person puzzle game where there's the maquette. And the maquette is like the central hub surrounded by like a little, I don't know, village. It's kind of like a... Is he crying still? Yeah, I think so. Think of it like a really big gazebo type of thing. But when you go into the gazebo, there's a little model of the surrounding town or items of your gazebo. So then what you're doing is you're taking things that are big and you throw them out of the gazebo, the maquette, and then you pick them up and they're smaller. And it's like a big size manipulation puzzle game. Really good story about a couple that comes together and kind of falls apart and sort of reconciles. I thought it was a great story in the background. But also, when you go outside the maquette, you're basically becoming a smaller... It's a little hard to explain, but basically, as you go into the maquettes, things get smaller. And when you place them, they become bigger. But when you go outside the maquette, you become smaller, and you realize it's like sort of a puzzle within a puzzle within a puzzle within a puzzle. Like, it's real Inception-ish, like, with the size manipulation. It's hard to explain, but it's really cool when you realize that the maquette that you're in, the quote-unquote normal size one, is just the smaller one, and you look out and it's just a bigger maquette. And then you can kind of see like 2 or 3 levels out and 2 or 3 levels in. It's really cool. Highly recommend it. Next is another game, number 7 on the PS5 exclusive. And it's only on the PS5. And it's free with the PS5. You already know what it is. It's Astro's Playroom, baby. My God, what a fun little platformer that introduces you to the PS5 functionality. Awesome game. Very fun platformer. There's so many Easter eggs to other PlayStation games and properties. Such a blast. Highly recommend Astro's Playroom. Especially if you love PlayStation and the history of PlayStation and their IP. So many cool things in there for you. There's a fun trophy room where you get so many cool little things. I think one of the first, you play as Astrobot and you're going through the different areas of the PS5. And one of the first there's other Astrobots, quote unquote, around, and they're dressed as different characters. There's a hunter from Bloodborne, Kratos, Joel and Ellie from Last of Us. I think Atreus is in there too. Nathan Drake. So many great ones. And it's such a blast to play. Number 8, we have another absolute gem, super simple game, super relaxing, Donut County, where again, the humor is what gets me most in this game, but it's also a very fun, you've seen these on Instagram or TikTok or wherever else, and it's one of those games where you have a hole, and you suck things into the hole, and the hole gets bigger. And as the hole gets bigger, you suck in bigger things, and the hole gets bigger and bigger and bigger, so on and so forth. But it's a very funny game. You play as a raccoon, and I guess a little girl, and the raccoon's in charge of a donut shop, so is his family. Maybe it's a girl. I haven't played it in so long. But I believe it's the raccoon runs the donut shop. And he got mad at someone. I think someone pissed him off. So instead of sending out the donuts on an order, he sends out the hole, and the hole sucks things up. Very fun, cute, relaxing game. The only unrelaxing part, I would say, maybe, is the final boss fight, because it's an actual kind of boss fight where you use the mechanics of sucking things into the hole against the boss. That's maybe about the only not relaxing part. The rest of it's a breeze, though, baby. Number 9, kind of cheating, because it's 3 games in 1. But oh, golly gee, the Spyro Remastered Trilogy. So, it's relaxing in a sense for me because it's nostalgia. Like, I would throw the Goldeneye footage you're seeing as also relaxing for me because I'm not playing it super hard. When I say relaxing, I don't necessarily mean that the completion is relaxing, because usually the completions are not. But the completion for Spyros is to basically more or less 100% every level, and there's such a joy to these games, especially if you grew up with them, that it's honestly so it's so easy to get sucked into the nostalgia, and just it's such a joy to play through these games. It's pretty relaxing. Some of the things are not relaxing, but just playing the games, they're gorgeous, and I love how they remastered them. Definitely relaxing in some areas. All right, number 10, the last game that I'm going to bring up as a relaxing game to play is Gone Home. Now, Gone Home is a gem. I think I've played it like 2 or 3 times at this point. I want to say the original, was it the original version doesn't have a platinum, but I believe the other 2 versions there's a platinum, and then you can get all the gamer score. Yeah. Gone Home, going into the game, you would think it's a horror game, just because you're going into like an abandoned house and you don't know what's going on. There's secret passages and stuff, but it tells a very poignant story, a great story. It's a very relaxing game to play. I think the only thing that's probably not relaxing is there's a speed run where I think you can finish the game in you can finish it in 3 minutes. It entails just going into a certain secret compartment you know about, grabbing a key, unlocking an item, and then just leaving the house. Like, it can be done like that, but the narrative is really good. It's about like a familial acceptance of someone who's slightly different in some ways than, the other family. Keep it as vague as possible for those that haven't played it. Highly recommend Gone Home, though. Great game. It is a walking sim, though. I know some people don't like walking simulators, but when you think about it, aren't most games just walking simulators? Like, aren't we just walking around in a Halo, or in a Last of Us, or in a Bloodborne? Aren't we just simulating walking, role-playing? We're always doing it. We're just classifying it differently. But yeah, Gone Home is great. And there are so many other relaxing games. There's so many games that you may find relaxing that I don't find relaxing. If you had other relaxing games, let me know about them down in the comments section. Give me some recommendations. I have a lot of trophies and achievements, not to brag, but I'll brag about it. I got a lot of them. Chances are I've probably played a good fair amount of them, but if you got some recommendations, I'll take them. I'll see what you got. All right, now let's go into our game recommendations. The first one I'll give you is an upcoming game. This is for all my PlayStation brethren out there. I'm kind of surprised. I didn't realize it was timed exclusive on Xbox, on Game Pass. But Planet of Lana coming out. Let's take a look. Comes out April 16th. It's a very it's fun. It's a puzzle game. Think of the puzzles similar to it plays similar to like an Inside or a Limbo with puzzles. And it's a fun story. I enjoyed it. The only tricky achievement or trophy is to basically just not die in the whole game, which isn't as hard as you would think. Like, it's a little tricky. I'm hoping the cheesing way around it still works on the PlayStation version, where basically, like, if you die, you quit the game and you come back in, because it only counts your death when you go to another checkpoint after death. So, keep an eye out for that one. And the recommended game for this week, another puzzle game, another fairly chill experience, but takes a little more thinking with how you have to align things up, is a game called Death Squared. Now, Death Squared there's some Portal-esque humor to it. Basically, you're controlling cubes, and you're trying to move these cubes along platforms onto buttons that will make you go to the next level. Very fun game. Highly recommend. It's a great puzzle game. I completed it on Xbox. I have it on the PlayStation to go through. Highly recommend Death Squared. Again, very funny Portal-like humor with the main character in an AI. I don't believe the AI is evil per se, from what I remember. But it's basically like a guy doing his job, trying to get the cubes to go to their next position, and he's working with the AI, and the AI is kind of mocking him a little bit. Very, very fun game. There's also like a 4-player mode, but you can play it solo. It can all be done solo, but you can also have multiple people playing. So, Death Square, definitely check that game out. And with that, another episode of Platinum Achievements comes to a close. I'm going to wrap it up quick so I can go help Sammy out go to sleep. Thank you all for watching. As always, it means a great deal you continue to watch the videos when I put them out. Give the video a like, subscribe, share with a game-loving friend, ring that bell if you're feeling saucy, and let me know down in the comments some of your relaxing games and what you thought of my recommendations, as well as some of the news stories that I brought up earlier. Also, let me know what are some of the games you're going to get on the Xbox spring sale. Thanks for listening, watching, everybody. Have a great rest of your day. Have a great week. I'm going to go take care of my child. Bye.